Now, though, reality was sinking in. At some point, several life cycles ago, Arkav's soul had journeyed where they were heading, as all their souls did when between lives. Somewhere down there, in that unknown oblivion, a demon had snared him and bitten off a piece of his soul, leaving a hole behind. And though most of Arkav continued to be reborn, life after life, there had been something missing since then. An absence that had become a kind of abscess, festering and damaging him from within. They were going to get that piece of his soul back, to restore her brother to the brilliant, smiling man he'd once been. Either that, or die in the attempt. And they could die here. Not just their bodies either. If their souls fell too far from the world, it was even possible that their god pieces would not be able to bring them back. It was also possible that the demons waiting down below could steal their souls or tear them to shreds or... Pari rolled her eyes. She was damned if she was going to let any of those things happen. The walls of the chasm were smooth, pale grey, and mostly featureless. It disguised how fast they were moving and created the lie that perhaps they weren't really moving at all. She was grateful for the odd crack as it flashed past, as it provided evidence of their progress. With effort, she looked back over her shoulder and was shocked to find she could no longer see the sky. There was only a distant blackness above, pinpricked by tiny points of golden light. "Watch for our lights," the lead bringer had said. "There will be 7, no more, no less. Only they will guide you home." She had been mustering her courage at the time and had taken their words at face value. But now she thought about it, there was some subtext here she wished she had explored. Were the bringers suggesting there might be other lights down in the depths? Tricks to lure the unwary? And if so, how did they know? Supposedly nobody had ever come back. No, thought Pari. The bringers didn't say that. They said the last attempt to retrieve a piece of soul from the demons and rejoin it had failed. That isn't the same thing. I'll bet somebody did come back, and I'd also bet that the bringers know more than they've told us. On they went, faster and faster, deeper and deeper, with no end to the chasm in sight. There were changes, though. The colours of the essence strands were richer here, and she fancied that she could see the remains of shapes, as if below them someone were making fine pieces of essence art that slowly distorted as they rose. Another realisation. The chasm walls were getting further apart. She'd been worried about the opposite, of getting stuck or crushed or smashed to pieces if the chasm narrowed. But this was alarming in its own way. As the walls receded, so too did her sense of scale, of space. They were falling through the mist now. It reminded her of flying through low clouds, except the ones here were more vividly coloured. Purples and greens and yellows rather than greys and whites, and that they seemed to slide round each other rather than mix together. She looked across to Arkav, worried about how he would be faring. But her brother's face was turned away from her, his expression hidden behind the crystal helmet. He had noticed something she hadn't. A silvery thread of essence, bright but small, travelling in the same direction as them. "What is that?" she thought, and as if in answer, heard her brother say in wonder, "It's a soul." It too was getting easier to see with the naked eye. A soul. A human soul. A shiver went through her. Is it aware of us? When did it die? Has it been falling alongside us since the start, invisible? The walls had gone from sight, and she didn't risk looking up again, for fear that even the dark above would be gone, and the bringer's lights with them. And things felt